Hi guys, my name is Asaf Olaolo and it is me answering 100 questions that I know the teenagers ask myself. Now the question I want to answer today is actually a question that is, it's a solemn question. It requires a lot of sobriety and reflection. What's the question? I'm a teenager and I'm pregnant. And I'm thinking of aborting the baby because it would affect my plans. What do I do? Now let me start with this. If you were asking me that question as a Christian, my answer to you would be a no. It's a no. It's a capital no for me. If you're asking me because maybe it's an health, it's going to create an health complication for you. Maybe there is an health issue that concerns it, that might affect you medically or health-wise. I would actually advise you to see a physician or a doctor, and whatever they recommend is the best choice, because your life is actually important. But if you're asking me because you actually did things you were not supposed to do, which is basically engaging in premarital sex, then I will not flog you up. I would not say that what you deserve the punishment you are going through, because it is not a punishment, it's a consequence of the action that you took, and so you cannot jeopardize the life of a baby because of your own wrong decisions. And that's why I'm not endorse that I'm going to rub your head and say, yes, you did something good, that you got pregnant. What you did was actually wrong. But what would be worse of the wrong is the fact that you want to abort that child. I understand that it might affect many things in your life. Perhaps maybe to affect your ability to further your education for a moment. It might stop it for a while. It might become a form of stigmatization for you in your environment. It might mean that you have disappointed your parents. It could mean many things, but I believe that you would have considered all of those things before you engaged in premarital sex. But if you didn't consider that, or you were not expecting that you were going to get pregnant, you're pregnant, and that is the reality now. But what do we do? What do we do? I'll say this as well, that means that sometimes we are not ready for the consequences of the actions that we take. If you actually sit down and actually consider the consequence of the action, thank God it is not an STD or an STI that you contracted. Thank God it's not an STI that is incurable. Thank God it's a pregnancy. So if it's a pregnancy, it means that it's a procreation of life. Thank God for that. But you have to come to terms with the reality. Certain things might not run smooth as you anticipated. One of it is that you might need to stop your education. For example, if you're in a secondary school, it means that you might have to stay away from school for a while. No school will allow you to stay, and then probably if you are about to gain admission, it means that you probably have to stay at home and nurse a child for a year or two. What I would advise is this: allow the baby leave. Allow the baby leave. Your mother allowed you to leave, even though this was done legitimately. If this one looks like something that is not legitimate to you because it's out of wedlock, it was a consequence of your action. So let's leave it that way. Allow the baby come alive. Pray that you'll be guided. The few things I think you should even start considering now is that who is the father of the child? Are the parents ready to accept? Is the father of the child ready to accept? How will your parents take it? Are they ready to accept? Are they going to help you through this process? You don't need to be beaten up now, actually. You need to start consolidating and looking at how people can help you walk through this route, walk through this process. And then you also should be thinking about this, that afterwards, after the birth of the child and the nursing and the weaning of the child, what's my next move? All of these things should be things that would be interplayed in your mind and the decisions you want to take. Now I'm going to tell you that getting pregnant as a teenager is not the end of your life, or it's going to affect certain course of your journey, but you can work around it and recuperate. What I mean is this: if your parents get angry and disappointed about it, they would probably, I trust, if you get an elderly person to talk to them about it, to divulge this information, they will guide them through how they can actually manage a child who is having a child. They will guide them through, and with the support of your parents, I believe that you can walk through these processes easily. I've answered a question like this before in one of my videos, in the early videos. I think maybe question 4 or 5. I don't know what question we are on now. Maybe this is like 20 something, and we're going to about 100. But if you can see, and we just go through all my past videos, I've answered a question on it, and I gave an instance of my elder sister actually, that she still went back to school. She graduated. She graduated actually, and she's doing very, very well now. And even our child, so I think she should be like 16 or 17 now, probably 18. I don't have the figure in my head, but I know that the younger is also doing well because she's in the USA, But let me leave all of those stories. I'm saying that I took that. If you watch that video, you'll see how I explained that anyways about my sister. But I'm trying to say that there's still a future. It's not the end of life, But just understand that the pregnancy is a consequence of inaction, and you cannot throw that child away because of your own decision. What you need to do is to get people who speak with your parents if you are scared or you think that they might take it extremely, who will speak with your parents and who also speak with the parents of the person who got you pregnant, and see how you guys can consolidate effort together and guide you through the process, until the child is born, and then you win the child, and then you can go back to school. You can actually go back to school. It might look very tough, but with the help of parents and siblings and friends and families who are concerned about you, I believe that the baby would be fine and you will be fine. But don't abort the baby. If I've answered your question, you can chat me up on Facebook, on Instagram, or on any of my social media platforms. Till I come your way again, stay good.